Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. I'm Jack, I'm here with Liam and Anya,
Hello.
What's up?
and today we're talking about the ending of Life is Strange. Is it underwhelming? Could it have been done differently? Let's talk about it. Okay, I'll throw the mic over to you first, Liam. So, of course, you have picked both endings in the two playthroughs that you've done for this game. I suppose what your thoughts are is what is your opinion on both endings, and also as well, there is a lot of sort of hate, or maybe hate's a strong word, a lot of dislike for the fact that if you pick the Chloe ending, a lot of the choices don't really matter because you ultimately go back to a point in episode 1 and you just let her die. What's your opinion on that as well?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when I first played it at 18, I saved Chloe, and now that I'm 27, I replayed it, I saved Arcadia Bay. Now, it's funny because when I first played it, I was 18, I saved Chloe, and the first thing I did afterwards is I went to YouTube and looked at the other ending, and I just sat there stunned, well, that's not fair. They got a whole movie, they got a whole music video. So obviously, the Chloe ending, you hold hands, you look at the storm destroy the town, and then you just ride off into the sunset, right? I mean, firstly, I think we should talk about whether this was an underwhelming ending. I mean, what did you guys think about that?
In comparison to saving Arcadia Bay, it definitely is a little bit underwhelming, but I also kind of like the idea that they can just kind of go on some new adventure. They can literally do whatever. They have a whole life ahead of them now. Hopefully fate isn't going to come after Chloe some more, but yeah, when you look at the two of them, there's definitely one that feels more wrapped up.
That's it, because we look at the other ending, if you save Arcadia Bay, and it is just so cool. You've got the gut punch emotional scene with Max in the bathroom again, and then you have Chloe's funeral, and the whole thing, just backed with a really epic song choice, maybe the best in the game of Full Spanish Sahara. It's just fantastic, and then you've got the blue butterfly. I just really like the ending. I thought it was just such a good way to finish the season, and I just feel like I wish both endings could have got the same amount of love. It felt like the game clearly wanted you to pick a certain one. I don't know if that's unfair or if I'm wrong there, but I don't know. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? I mean, that's in both my playthroughs, I've saved Arcadia Bay twice. So literally, upon just watching the one where you save Chloe, of course, the music's great, some of the shots, and you can see the wreckage of Arcadia Bay. You could say it's somewhat bittersweet because obviously she's kept her friend alive, but look at the path of destruction that she's left behind her. I thought maybe it's the sadistic part of me, but I found it sort of fun as it's driving past the sign when they're leaving Arcadia Bay, and it says, thank you, come again soon or something, and you just know that the whole place is absolutely wrecked because of this one girl's actions. There's something to be said there about Max's character. Of course, if you do go that way, potentially she is more of a villain in this series than we care to let on, but in terms of the execution, it does suck that one ending had a 5-minute hit the feels sort of thing going on, and the other one was just a few shots and a car driving off into the distance.
I just remembered something, actually. Did either of you play the True Colors Wavelengths DLC with Steph?
No, I've not played anything True Colors wise, actually.
Because I want to give a little shout out to it and what it does if you pick you sacrificed Arcadia Bay. Because if you play Before the Storm, you know that Steph went to Blackwell. You get to meet her, and then she comes back in True Colors, and she gets her own little DLC thing that mostly focuses around her. And it starts out did you save Arcadia Bay, yes or no? And then, well, I did Like, now I would choose to save it, but I said that I didn't for this one because technically I did for the first time. But she's talking with what's his name? What's the name of that guy who plays Dungeons and Dragons with Steph and Chloe?
Oh, like the little kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I will quickly look that up.
2 hours later.
Oh god, I'm not finding it. Mikey. There you go.
Mikey. Yes, she's talking with Mikey, and throughout the like her little DLC thing, she's like she looks at certain things and she like hears and like kind of has memories of like all the destruction that went down like the day of the storm, and she'll talk with Mikey about it, and they're both just kind of struggling and like talking about how much it affected them. So it's kind of interesting to see like another little like snippet of how that ending goes, of just like the trauma that the people who lived through it went through and how they have to keep thinking about it. Like I think Steph's mom like died during it or something, and it's just really messed up to see.
Yeah, it's really cool as well because like obviously I never knew that because I'm yet to play True Colors, but obviously it gets another little cameo in Life is Strange 2, doesn't it? Where when you take the road trip, you go past Arcadia Bay and you have a look at the city, which you know can be destroyed or not. So they can reference that. So yeah, that's really cool that like the lore of Arcadia Bay can carry on into the future games, which are clearly very different, but still, you know, stick to its core somewhat there by giving that a nod.
But yeah, I mean, guys, did we want to talk about, because I know there's been some stuff in the comments about, oh, you know, that this game, it's got a lot of plot holes, which for me personally, I can only think of maybe one or two. I don't know if you want to like shed light on that for me, but also as well, the fact that a lot of the other choices that you make throughout the game are pretty redundant because it comes just down to these two choices, whether to save Chloe or save Arcadia Bay. Did you have any particular thoughts on that you wanted to share? Start with you, Liam.
I think it's supposed to be redundant. The whole game is basically about no matter what you do, trying to save your best friend, that the universe has a plan for her and she's supposed to die, which I almost think there's a beauty in that. As dark as it is, that you end up back in that bathroom and you have to let scenes play out.
Yeah, like 16-year-old me at that time was not very happy with like seeing that it just goes back on like 4 to 5 whole episodes of all this stuff that you were doing and trying to change and just being with Chloe again. And I was like, yeah, I'm not letting that happen. But yeah, looking at it now, it's definitely like kind of poetic in a way. Like I used to like hate when games would end in a way and it makes you feel like your choices really didn't matter. Like I know Telltale games have gotten a lot of criticism on that front. It's just like, well, nothing matters if it's just gonna like end this way, and how it started. I don't know. I kind of like it more now that way, but I don't know.
I mean, do you guys think that the fact that the game only ends in 2 choices, would you say that's underwhelming? Considering, like, I don't know about True Colors, Anya, but I do know that Life is Strange 2 has 4 endings. Life is Strange 1 gives you 2. Would you say that's underwhelming?
I don't know. I mean, like, I guess like there's only so much branching power you can do, you know, like how many ways you can end it. I feel like having it come down between the town that you've been watching grow progressively weirder because of the storm and everything, and saving everybody there, or saving the person that's been alongside you the whole time. I feel like there's no other like endings you can throw in there without making it look good or seem good.
I think the very nature of the plot, you've sort of written yourself into a corner, haven't you? It's either Chloe dies or she doesn't. You can't really add anything else in there. So I suppose, I don't know, like obviously I think we all agree on this, but like there might be people out there sort of like defending the indefensible, but I think that you almost got to take this one on the chin because of, like I say, the very nature of the story. The whole story spins on that one particular moment of you saving Chloe. It's either go back and rectify that, or you let her stay alive. There's no other way you can go about it. But obviously I think that naturally that does suffer in terms of the fact that there's only 2 endings. I do actually like what Life is Strange 2 did, where you could have multiple endings, but again, there was no real time element in there. It was about how the 2 characters ended up where they were. So again, that allowed them some more flexibility there. So it's really about what you're into. If you can somewhat ignore the whole choice element of it and appreciate the story, then great. But if you're like, you know, really hardcore there for like the choices and how sophisticated they are, and of course, you know, you'll be let down.
Play Quantic Dreams instead if that's your jam.
That's it.
Yeah. I think for me as well, like, because I think the ending choice, yeah, I have seen a lot of people get angry that like there's only 2 of them, but I think at the end of the day, if you look at like the percentages, it's when I just finished it, it said 49% versus 51%, so it still splits the room. So I think they did an excellent job at making it quite a splitting choice at the end there. I don't think they should change the ending, but I just wish that one ending got a lot more love than the other one. Because, like I say, one's a whole music video with Spanish Sahara, the other one's just, you know, driving away into the sunset. So I just wish that one ending got a lot more love than it did.
Did we want to speculate on what they could have done? Like, let's just say that was part of the ending. Let's just say that there was a 5-minute ending of, you know, saving Chloe. Have the whole bit where, you know, you see the wreckage, they're driving off. What else could have happened to make it a little bit more palatable?
Yeah, that's a good question. How would have we rewrote the Save Chloe outro?
I don't even know. I don't think I'm creative enough to think of anything that would be like satisfying for not just me, but for other people as well.
I think what I would have done is we've all played like Before the Storm, right?
Yeah.
You know the way that ends, where you've got Chloe and Rachel, and they kind of have like a montage of like a few things they get up to, like the friendship, because you know, like Before the Storm doesn't end in, you know, her going off with Jefferson. It kind of just ends in a bit of a friendship montage, and you had like my favorite band, Wolf Alice, playing Bros over it. I would have had the same, maybe just a few adventures of what Max and Chloe got up to, maybe a few like 4 or 5 different shots of them doing different things, whether it's a road trip, whether they're having, I don't know, like a campfire, maybe like a little nod to a few things they got up to before. But yeah, I just would have had a bit more of a music video style ending, a bit like Before the Storm with Chloe and Rachel, in my opinion. I don't know, how about you, Jack?
I really don't know. I was hoping you wasn't going to ask. No, I really don't. I do like the idea though, because again, that would draw parallels with Before the Storm, wouldn't it? And especially if they went on a road trip, considering that, you know, there's 2 characters in Life is Strange 2 that are somewhat on a road trip. Of course, they didn't want to go on one, but yeah.
Maybe they could have gone to California the way Chloe and Rachel dreamt of. That would have been a nice finishing arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that actually would have been pretty cool. Like, if they're like looking too happy and everything, it might feel a little weird after just like killing a whole town. But if it was like more chill, just like maybe them like rolling up to a hotel and yeah, maybe like doing a little campfire somewhere, just like more like calm things instead of just like, I don't know, partying and laughing.
Yeah, there you go. Don't nod, Deck 9. Hire us. We're free to be taken. We can be a part of your creative team.
We can throw it to people in the comments as well, and then just steal their ideas. So, you know,
Yeah.
If you're in the comments, let us know. Like, how would you have ended that bit with saving Chloe? But unless you've got anything else to add, guys, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that. Anya, thank you very much for joining us for Life is Strange.
Yes.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
When we do Before the Storm, we can do that again whenever we cover that one.
Yeah, you might take me back or whatever. It's fine.
No, we were joking before the show started that when we're done with Anya, we're going to bury her in the ground next to Rachel.
Yep, because you were like, last episode, I'm like, yeah, and then you and Jack are going to take me out into the yard with a shotgun.
I only wanted to take photos. Jack's the one who overdosed you, right?
Thanks, Jack.
Hey, Liam's got the moustache of David, though. So,
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I was the big bad all the time.
or Samuel. We don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks a lot for listening to this series, guys. We really appreciate all the support and the comments, etc. So, yeah, I mean, that's all from me. We will see you next time.
Cowabunga.
Bye.